Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with you with Stacey Spivey, Lauren Coleman, and Monique Robinson right there.
Welcome to the 4 to 5 right here on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app. We're going to start with some developing news happening right now on the North Carolina coast. The U.S. Coast Guard and local fire departments are searching for 8 survivors after a small plane crash near the Outer Banks. Authorities say the plane went down yesterday afternoon 4 miles east of Drum Inlet. Air traffic control says the plane was behaving erratically and then disappeared from the radar. Right now, details about the passengers are limited, but we did receive a statement from a nearby school district in Carteret County. It reads in part, "We are incredibly saddened as we await official word on the airplane crash off the coast of Drum Inlet, North Carolina. Crisis teams are on school campuses to support students, staff, and families. This is a developing story. We'll keep you updated as more details come in." Right now, we are working to learn more about a car crash that damaged a popular Triad eatery. Here's some video of the scene outside of the scrambled Southern Diner on Spring Garden Street in Greensboro. Repair crews are working to fix the restaurant's patio area after someone ran into it over the weekend. Greensboro police say the driver ran off the roadway in an attempt to avoid hitting another vehicle. No one was injured, but damages total about $16,000. The restaurant will not reopen until the repairs are finished. And we are also learning more about another Triad restaurant that's temporarily shut down. Daryl's Woodfire Grill on Gate City Boulevard is closed after a fire broke out in its kitchen. Right now, there's no word on when it will reopen.
We've got some encouraging news in today's state COVID-19 report. Right now, the state is reporting 3,094 North Carolinians in the hospital with the virus. That's nearly 500 fewer than Friday's number. And we've really noticed the drastic improvements when we color code this graph. Just take a look at this. The red days show an increase in hospitalizations from the day before. The green days show a decrease. It's really easy to see. There are two very different sides on the graph. It's impressive. Once this number started to drop, it consistently did every day. The Forsyth County Health Department is now handing out free COVID-19 tests and N95 masks. Kits are being handed out at the health department and 10 library locations in an effort to expand access to testing. If you are showing symptoms, you should not get your test from the library. You should go to a drive-through location elsewhere.
We really thought it would be good to do this at the libraries just because they're out in the community. If you want to test, don't wait till you need it. Try to get it beforehand.
The library will offer kits at all branches from 9 to noon and from 5 to 7 Monday through Friday. The health department is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Wednesday and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thursday. Then they close again at 5 on Friday. You can get 1 test kit and 4 N95 masks per adult while supplies last. Later this week, Guilford County Commissioners will meet to review the county's mask mandate. Commissioners will consider 3 things. They could either end the mask mandate, let it expire on February 27th, or extend the mandate through at least March 3rd. The meeting is next Thursday. We'll, of course, keep you updated and let you know their decision.
Well, if you've gone outside today, then you know Old Man Winter, he's not playing any games out there, that's for sure. We're going to check in with Monique now and see how that forecast look. It was cold this morning.
It was cold today, and on Saturday it felt like spring, so it's just so crazy here in North Carolina. This weather just goes up and down each and every other day. Today's temperatures, though, have been in the upper 40s, and I promise you it's going to get warmer day by day this week. We're going to talk about how these weather conditions will just get warmer, but also make for kind of rainy conditions. I'll talk about it in just a sec. Temperatures across the area right now in a mix of mid to upper 40s, 45 currently in Greensboro, 48 down in Asheboro, Lexington, lucky ones at 50 degrees, but elsewhere you can see those temperatures are certainly cold. High pressure settling in with the cold air. In the summertime, we get that high pressure coming from the south, making it even warmer, but when it comes from the north, it brings cold air with it. That's what we're feeling, but as that high pressure pulls away away from us, that warmer air will start to be in the mix, and these winds will come out of the southwest Wednesday and Thursday, and again on Friday, and that will lead to much warmer temperatures across our area. But before we get to that, tonight another cold night for you. Temperatures falling below freezing once again, down to 25 degrees, and the timing of that cold air is certainly when you're heading out to work in the morning, so definitely going to need to bundle up. You can probably shed some layers though by the afternoon as temperatures get into the 50s. Today upper 40s, tomorrow the 50s, the next day after that more 50s. So it's getting warmer and warmer day by day, but I mean, we're still in the winter season. We generally mark winter as December, January, and February. Now March, that's when things look good to get warmer, but then we get active weather, and we're seeing a sign of that coming up this Thursday. I'll talk about it more in just a bit.
Like every community, we're having an affordable housing crisis.
From beef at the butcher shop to gas at the pump, everything has been going up in price lately. On top of it all, people are struggling to find affordable housing in the Triad. Just take a look at these numbers, or you can at least see the graph that both Greensboro and Winston-Salem rent numbers and their prices have gone up steadily since November 2020, and this is according to rentcafe.com. The price of homes, no different. According to redfin.com, home prices in Greensboro were up 13.1% in December 2021 compared to 2020. They say in Winston-Salem, homes are up 14.4%. Housing experts in both cities say there are multiple factors that create an issue of affordable housing. First, they say wages don't match the cost of living. There's a need for more houses, apartments, and townhomes. Experts say usually the more affordable homes usually don't have the best quality. But really, they both agree. It's the narrative surrounding affordable housing that isn't helping.
These are folks that we rely on to make our communities operate and thrive. And without them, so many things don't get done. And without housing, they aren't going to be able to be here.
Michelle Kennedy is the director of neighborhood development with the city of Greensboro. She says they know through their emergency rental assistance program that more than 2,700 folks used emergency rental assistance over the last year. Kennedy emphasized these people aren't always the people you think they are. She says there are teachers, daycare workers, and first responders. Senior Director of Housing Strategies for United Way, Andrea Kurt, says it's the same in Forsyth County.
And if we don't build a community where people have a right to housing, then we have to accept that there will be people living on our streets.
Kurt says many of the employers they have relationships with say that they're seeing a problem of these essential workers not being able to afford housing in Forsyth County, so they're moving and finding jobs elsewhere. Both cities are working to find solutions, but Kennedy and Kurtz both agree it starts with conversations in the communities and making affordable housing more acceptable. This is what really got me. When we think about affordable housing, I think there's always kind of a stereotype to it that it's more low income housing, but affordable housing, these are the people that work in our communities. There are probably some people that work in our building as well. I mean, these are not like your typical, oh, they're just homeless, they're not working. These are people that have full-time jobs, that are daycare workers, that are teachers, that are driving the buses around town, and they can't afford housing here.
It's just frustrating to think about while you were reading this story, because the pandemic was not something that we chose, and it's had a ripple effect on everything, including affordable housing. So it's like, at what point do we change something that's beyond our control? These are people who have contributed something to society. They're doing their part, and it's just unfortunate that this is a situation that we're in.
I think also the pandemic did such a number on our economy that now, like you said, the ripple effect is still going, right? Like we're all trying to swim and figure out how to stay afloat at this point. But you're right, a reallocation of funds, a shifting of something here or there to help these people out. It's not fair, especially this is an affordable area to live, right? Like
Yes.
supposedly when you look at the state, Greensboro is not as expensive like a Raleigh or Charlotte.
Yeah, and really quickly, I want to say, Kennedy, she told me that people, their wages just don't add up to the prices of these homes, like not just for rent, but also to buy. So
We got to go back to the drawing board. Something's
right.
got to give. I don't see it getting better.
Big step. We'll be right back.
Throughout Black History Month, the WFMY News 2 is highlighting the work of Black leaders and their impact here in the Triad. Dr. Amy McMichael is the first Black female chair at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. I spoke with her about the importance of Black History Month and the legacy she hopes to leave behind. Dr. Amy McMichael is a board-certified dermatologist. For 27 years, she's dedicated much of her life to building up the dermatology research unit at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist, training the next generation of dermatologists.
And I've run the residency, I've run the clinic, and just have had a wonderful group of people to both mentor me and whom I mentor now as a more senior faculty member.
Dr. McMichael is currently chair of the dermatology department, making her the first Black female chair at Wake Forest Baptist.
Why dermatology? Why was it important for you to go into this field?
One of the places that I saw a niche was skin of color dermatology. It really wasn't a thing then, but because I was of color and I think I saw places where we weren't really delivering the care that we should to people, with skin of color was sort of in my mind that, okay, we need to do that.
Throughout her career, she's published over 100 journal articles and delivered more than 250 lectures around the world. She tells me understanding Black history inspires her daily.
Just getting our message out that people of color are, a big part of what made this country what it is today, and that there are so many opportunities that we need to still provide for our patients in this country of color.
As a wife and mother of two, Dr. McMichael hopes her story will inspire young people of all backgrounds to follow their dreams, even when they feel like no one recognizes them.
You have to then rise above that, and you have to not let closed doors stop you. You have to look for where the door is cracked open just a little bit and put your foot in it and figure out a way to get through it. Not push your way in, but actually work successfully to make people recognize that you are worthy of being behind that door.
This is McMichael's 10th year as chair of the dermatology department. Wasn't she fabulous?
Yes.
She was dropping so many gems during our interview. I was like, I wish I could fit it all in here, but we only have but so much time. One of the things that she hit upon was talking about other people in the Black community who are successful, our teachers, our doctors, our firefighters, that they should do more to reach out to the youth in the community so they can see this is what you can become. Because some people are in situations where they don't see people like this in their family or maybe in their neighborhoods, and they don't know that this can be a possibility for them as well.
I love the fact that she she said, I don't see anybody doing dermatology for people of color. And she said, I'm doing this, took it upon herself and making a difference.
And I don't know, when you were talking, Laura, it just made me think about how probably so many little girls are looking up to you as a news anchor. Has anyone ever reached out to you or anything?
Oh, absolutely. I will say, since I've moved here to Greensboro, I get emails all the time from viewers about some of the stories that I do or just the way that I dress and just how their daughters are at home and they're also looking up to me and they say for me to keep doing the work that I do. So that keeps me motivated. And it also makes me think about the legacy that I want to leave behind as well. So I try to do the best that I can.
There's nothing like an email from a child because they're innocent and honest,
Yes.
not jaded. That's the real deal right there.
Yeah, their kids are definitely honest, that's for sure.
That's brutally honest, yeah. We'll take a short break. We're coming right back. Mics are coming up.
Oh, even if
Hello, Facebook. I gotta go move a camera
The
really
book of
quick.
face?
Sorry, you said to move it to the verts. Did y'all know that we are not just anchors, but we are also reporters and camera operators?
and directors and
Oh no, I could never direct. That is all Brad's job.
ooh.
And he does a swell job. I could not punch buttons at all. So in college, did y'all ever have to do every position in college?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Except for directing.
Honestly, directing was the most stressful one to me.
Oh, really? So I never directed like a TV, but I directed the undergraduate radio shows. So I had to punch up their slots. That was one of my responsibilities as a teacher's assistant.
Oh, I had to do a newscast, and it was so stressful.
I used to direct when interns would want to do pretend anchor segments and they'd let them get on the set. I used to direct it from the booth and record it. It was fun.
I don't know what's more stressful, rolling prompter as an intern or directing a newscast.
See, I don't want the responsibility of the prompter because if you go too slow or too fast, all eyes are looking at you. That is a hard job.
It was so
And think about those
stressful.
shows that are like 4 hours plus.
Yeah. That's when I would fall asleep.
Yeah.
So difficult.
Oh, I thought we were saying goodbye. That's why I said goodbye.
Welcome back. You know, when you hear that 1 in 4 families in our area suffer from food insecurities, you might be a little bit shocked, but it is a reality. We say it all the time, and that's why the organizers of the Hope for Hunger event do what they do. The event is basically a multicultural dance show, all with the idea of helping the fight against hunger. Organizer Louise Lampron-Welker says it will be an experience.
We're going to have a festival atmosphere. The doors are going to open at 1 o'clock at the Carolina Theater. We will have great raffle prizes. You can buy tickets. The concession stand will be open. There'll be craft vendors. There'll be a photo booth. So there are lots of things to do before the dance performances start.
Now, Louise also says this event fits perfectly in today's world. It's trying to bring us together and celebrate our differences and what makes all of us unique.
So far, over our 3 or 4 years, we'll have 14 different cultures participate in this event, and it's just beautiful. And these dancers give their time, and they want to help others because we found that compassion is a universal thread. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. The compassion for the hungry is what everybody brings to this event, and we all have a lot of fun.
And don't forget, all the proceeds for this will go, because it's free, but they ask for donations if you can do it. But they go for the fight against hunger through 2 organizations, through a simple gesture, and then the Greensboro Urban Ministry as well. So it's pretty cool.
I'm absolutely excited about this. I'm actually emceeing the event this weekend, and to hear how successful it was in the past, I'm excited to just be a part of it all.
You know, the video that they sent us, you would see there were like African style dances, there was Indian dances, they had people from India in the audience too that would get up and do stuff. So you're gonna see like a sampling of all kinds of, and it's all through, which I love, dance. I just think that's cool, that's the way they're getting the message across.
I think dance is like a universal language, and then hunger is something that impacts people all around the world. So I like using this art form to tie all these things together.
Yeah. It almost seems like it's like a recital showcasing cultures around the world.
It's a global dance event right here.
Yes.
That's the way we'll look at it. Yeah, check it out if you can, and we'll have this information on our website a little bit after the show. Let's check in with Monique, see what's happening with the forecast.
Well, we were dry today and dry tomorrow. That's in the forecast. But after that, rain chances do return. Low chance on Wednesday as clouds build in. We could see some light rain or some drizzle late in the day. Thursday, more clouds in store and scattered showers throughout the day. But the heavy rain and even the potential for storms arrives late in the day going into your Friday, and then things clearing for the weekend. So this is a look at the one case scenario of the long term through that period. So dry today, and like I said, dry tomorrow. As long as high pressure stays in place, that's what we see, dry, nice weather Thursday, ahead of it Wednesday, but Thursday is the main event. This cold front crossing our area and then quickly moving out in time for the weekend, giving way to beautiful weather, I imagine, with 50s for your Saturday and Sunday. So here's a look at how much rain we can expect to see. This is an early look, so this can change as we get towards that Thursday, Friday time frame, but roughly around a half of inch. Some places locally seeing less than that, as you can see down to the south, and some places like Mount Airy seeing more than that, but a half of inch is where kind of the split line there is. Now, I also mentioned earlier in the newscast, we could see some strong wind gusts with the passage of this front. Some models are hinting at the possibility of upwards of 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts Thursday night going into your Friday, and then quickly clearing again for the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday shaping up to be nice, but just ahead of it, we will have some active weather across the area as early as Wednesday, continuing through your Thursday. The real story will be Thursday night going into your Friday, but clear for your Saturday and Sunday.
It's Valentine's Day, and the heart plays a special role today as an expression to show love. Speaking of the heart, Coach Lamont introduces us to Dr. Daniel Williams, a man credited with performing the first open heart surgery, and shares the importance of sticking to the plan even if someone else did it first.
Dr. Daniel Williams founded the first Black-owned hospital in America and performed the world's first successful heart surgery. The key word in Dr. Williams' history-making endeavor is successful. That means others tried to conduct heart surgery but never succeeded in the endeavor. Just because someone else did it does not mean that you can't do it. You will get the results intended for you based off of the energy you give in the process. This is the time to commit yourself to your next big endeavor and no longer focusing on the results others got from their efforts. There's no comparison. What's for you is for you, and the results will eventually speak for themselves. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
That was good. I love
good.
that one. I mean, I felt like God just was speaking to me when he was just talking to me in that moment, because I feel like that for myself, where sometimes I do things and I'm like, am I doing this the right thing? And I see I'm like, well, they got this and they did that, and not realizing that what's meant for me, what's destined for me, my path, my journey, is so much different from everyone else's. And as long as I keep looking to the side, I'm never going to make it forward.
That's a great way to look at it, Monique. That's one of the things I often say, what's for you is for you. So I like that saying. One of the other ways that I was thinking about what he was talking about when he said you don't always have to be the first person to do something. Sometimes you can do what someone else has done, but do it better or reach a wider audience. Like I was saying earlier, with the work that I do, I would hope that I could leave behind a legacy and somebody would want to build off of that to do better and reach more people.
I always like that line when people say you can't paint everybody with the same brush, you know, that line, and that's so true. Everybody's, I don't say the rules are different, but it's like everybody has different ways of accomplishing goals. And like you said, you may do something that somebody else did in a different way that's just as impressive.
Think about Uber and Lyft.
Yeah,
they're doing the same thing,
that's right,
but reaching a lot of people and doing some great work.
Yeah, this made me think of another one that we had last week, and I was talking about how I believe that God gives all of us a different gift, or maybe multiple gifts, and we just have to figure out what that gift is, and then, you know, put it out there for the world to see.
And how to utilize that gift to create purpose.
Deep today. Deep.
We always get deep on the 4 to 5.
It's true. It is true. All right, we'll be back.
Right. Hey, giving you a mic check. Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together. Grand.
Hi, mic check, 1 2 3, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, cool. Hey, good afternoon and happy Valentine's Day. I'm Stacey Spivey with Eric Chilton, Monique Robinson, and Lauren Coleman.
Yeah, we hadn't addressed that, have we, yet today? It is Valentine's Day.
And you guys are my Valentine.
Oh, we will take that. We will take that.
Hard, I can't make one.
Welcome to all of you watching us right here on WFMY News 2. And don't forget, you can also get us on Roku and the WFMY News 2 app.
But we want to go ahead and get started with one of our top stories today.
The Los Angeles Rams are your Super Bowl champions. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20 last night. It was an awesome game.
Yeah, now neither one of them may have been your team, but like we mentioned last week, the Bengals have a few Triad players on their team. Amanda Ferguson tells us how they did on the big stage.
Too bad we didn't get to see a group of Triad players win the Super Bowl, but we did get to see some big plays by them. Grimsley alum DJ Reader sacked Matthew Stafford, and former Wake Forest player Jesse Bates III had an interception in the end zone. Both guys, of course, not happy with the result.
Yeah, it was good to get around. We had a good season, but no, we want to win with a championship. I think all the guys feel that way. That's the mood in our locker room, what I saw in our locker room, all the guys feel that way. So, I think it had a successful season. Yeah, there's definitely things we can build off of, but, we always want to be able to championship.
I wouldn't say they did anything crazy, specific. There was a lot of flags that were called in that drive, so that's just how this game works sometimes.
But there is a former Wake Forest player to congratulate. Rams backup quarterback John Walford is a Super Bowl champion.
All right, so I asked you on my Facebook page, what about all those Super Bowl leftovers? Which ones do you toss? Which ones do you keep? Here's what you had to say. Jackie Kivett said, good question. It depends on what's left over. I probably would keep any leftovers, especially the wings. I'm with you on that. Joy says, don't make any. I don't know if she meant I don't make any food to have leftovers, or I eat it all and I don't have leftovers. I'm not sure which way. Jerry Paul said, I keep them all. And then Shayna said, keep them all. They can be brought back to life in the air fryer, and that's what you guys are always talking about that I haven't used. We actually have one and never used it.
The air fryer will bring fries back to life.
That's what I hear.
It can bring pizza back to life. Yes, because when you put fries in the microwave the next day,
they're
mushy.
Yeah.
But in the air fryer, spray a little bit of olive oil on it. It'll taste like brand new.
You can do wings in the air fryer too?
You don't even, you could just spray olive oil, put some seasoning in it, and it gets crisp. Like if you were to get it deep fried somewhere.
I know. I keep telling Jake we need to get an air fryer, and he doesn't believe me.
Air fryer, it's changed my life.
I think we have. I seriously don't even know. I think we have one. I've never taken it out. Well, I'm missing out.
Better open it.
What's going on here? All right, let's see what's happening with our forecast here. We got to warm things up a bit.
Yes, indeedy. Warmer weather is on the way, but it comes with a twist. It brings rain along with it. Before we get to that, take a look at the sky across the area. You pick your favorite view. I think UNC Greensboro is certainly going to have a beautiful sunset, especially with those few fair weather cumulus clouds. Now, Wake Forest, not going to look too shabby, but without a cloud in sight, it just gets those orange and yellow and pink hues in our skies. But when the clouds mix in there, you get a beautiful shot. Those temperatures still feeling fairly cool in some areas, some other places warmer than here in Greensboro. 5-degree difference just between High Point and Greensboro. 45 in Greensboro, High Point at 50, Winston-Salem at 48, Boone at a chilly good old 34. But we'll all be feeling those low 30s as those temperatures continue to fall. When we widen our view here, we're kind of in the warmer part of the nation as we look towards the south and east with temperatures kind of in and around those 40s. When we look north, New York, 24 degrees, certainly enough. We'll all be feeling that tonight as those temperatures fall. So clear skies continuing through this evening. When you have those clear skies, it really allows for those temperatures to fall. And so that's why it's going to be quite a cold night. Few clouds here or there late Tuesday going into your Wednesday. But then as we go throughout the course of your Wednesday, we'll certainly be seeing more cloud cover, and some of those could spit out a little bit of drizzle or rain. Would allow you some time to really soak in the 7-day. I've showed it earlier in the forecast, but I want to own in on the fact that this cold front coming in Thursday will bring along with it heavy rain at times and even the potential for some storms. The real big talk of the town is the wind, though, that is likely with this cold front. This wind that we're talking about could potentially bring wind gusts nearly 40 to 50 miles per hour across the area at times. Now, not to saying sustained winds through the evening, but definitely could be a cause for concern across the area.
What do you give and what do you get? According to the National Retail Federation, candy is the most popular gift for Valentine's Day. Cards are second, flowers are third, and evening out and jewelry round out the top 5. So, on this list, my friends, did you give or get any of these things this year?
Yes, my dad sent me some flowers this morning.
Nice. That's always a sweet thing.
He said he's always going to be my Valentine.
Yes,
I love
that is a sweet thing.
All we did was, my wife and I had lunch today. We decided we were going to do a lunch with just the two of us, and then it's back to the duties when we get home, taking care of the kids.
Right, so you had the evening out, okay?
We're just gonna have dinner at home, did cards, and I think I'll probably have flowers when I get home. You know, there's not a lot of time in the morning to go get flowers beforehand.
Hello.
There better be
well,
flowers.
Valentine's Day is not the #1 holiday in terms of flowers sold and delivered. What one is?
Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's what I
Has
would
to be.
say.
It's close.
Close.
It's close. Okay, so
President's
here it is. President's Day. Let's check it out. Books, an online flower shop, says winter holidays account for 30% of all holiday flower sales. So they say Christmas and Hanukkah. Mother's Day is the next most popular holiday. So you guys were right on it. Then comes Valentine's Day. Then comes Easter. Okay, so whether you get flowers from someone, you buy them for yourself, or you get them at the grocery store, you have them delivered. The 4 steps to making them last longer, they are all the same. The 4 steps to keeping your flowers and making them last longer. First, snip a 1/2 inch off each stem. Number 2, remove any leaves that will be below the water line. Leaves and water make for rotting and cloudy water. Put new water in your vase, that's number 3, and make sure that water is room temperature. And finally, you know that flower food packet? Use it. No aspirins, no Sprite, no drop of bleach. Use what it came with.
All right, I want you to think about this. When you knew what you were going to do with your life, maybe some of us still don't know. It is rare to know what your life's calling, your wife's, I said wife, it's Valentine's Day, stop. Your life's calling is in kindergarten, but once in a while, it happens. Yes, I say kindergarten. Tatum Scott is a young Triad singer and songwriter with a new release, and she said all this started when she was only 5. Tatum, this is so cool. I mean, appropriate that this song is, we're talking about this today, but I want to back up a little bit. Tell everybody about your history, because I'm sure you were a lot younger when your interest in music started.
I've grown up singing my whole life. I started at a very young age. I started singing probably when I was about 6 years old. The first time I stepped onto the stage was when it was during my kindergarten talent show, actually. And ever since then, I've just had a passion for performing, singing, being on stage. And I grew up, playing guitar. And I started songwriting, actually, when I was probably 12 or so. I kind of started writing about my own stories and my own personal experiences. And ever since I stepped onto that stage, I've loved performing, writing, singing.
Over the years, I mean, we've run across each other at gigs here and there. And tell me a little bit about where you are now and what you're trying to do for this next step.
I try to perform at as many venues as possible, restaurants. I try to go to Nashville and perform there too, at open mics or whatnot. I really enjoy just getting to sing in front of people and to know that people enjoy my music as well. It's super encouraging to just hear people's feedback on my music and to know that people, enjoy it.
So tell me about this song coming out today.
So my song is called Valentine's Day. You can get it on all streaming platforms. It's basically about just loving everyone. The message is to love and to love everyone around you. It's not just for lovers. It's for loving people, loving strangers, loving your mom and dad, just simply saying I love you. It's just a great message for everyone to hear.
Tatum, this is awesome. Best of luck to you. You're so talented. We're happy that you're a part of the Triad.
Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day.
She's cute as a button.
She is. So I met her, it may have been 4 or 5 years ago when my band was playing an all-day festival, and she was playing, and she was much younger, so just probably a tween at that point, and was on the stage with her little boots and a big guitar that was 3 times as big as she is, and she was really good. And I told her parents, I said, she's really good, and then they said, yeah, we're hoping that she can get, so she goes to Nashville now, and goes to the Bluebird and those type places and plays. Yeah.
I was just about to say, she seems like she has the exact same storyline as Taylor Swift.
Yep.
That's what it seems like. Taylor started off as a songwriter. She moved to Nashville, was performing at those places like the Bluebird Cafe. But she started with songwriting. And even that song kind of like reminded me a little bit of old school Taylor. I love it.
It'll be exciting to see where she goes next, and you could say I interviewed her right here on 4 to 5.
I loved when I heard her play. I remember some of the other band members. We were sitting around and we were talking, but then everybody stops and like, is that voice coming out of that little girl right over there? She's got a really fun, kind of pop country kind of sound.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I'm gonna have to go look her up on Instagram.
Tatum Scott.
See some of the songs.
That's right. The YouTube channel as well. All right, we'll be back.
Hello, hello. I am talking about if Valentine's is not going the way you want tonight, what can you do about it?
Some may say that Valentine's Day has a lot of expectations, from deciding whether to buy gifts to how to celebrate, if at all. And then what you do or you don't do is analyzed. This is what Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, and I are talking about today: how to manage Valentine's Day expectations. Why is there so much pressure put on Valentine's Day?
There's a lot of pressure on Valentine's because some people see it as a measuring stick of their love to you, right? Their commitment, their affection for you. And that isn't necessarily the case. But also think of it this way. Think about the commercials and the subliminal messaging and also the in-your-face messaging. Buy X and your partner is going to feel loved and valued and cared for. And it's all this pressure. And then also for the gift giver, because if they get it wrong, then it's like, oh my gosh, what happens to the relationship? It's a pressure for everyone.
So what if your partner doesn't do what you'd like for Valentine's Day? So let's say that they buy something that you don't think is romantic or you don't like, and they want you to cook at home where you'd rather go out. What do you do?
The first thing is not to jump to any conclusions. Just because they have a different idea for gifts or how to spend the Valentine's doesn't mean that they don't love you or they're not committed to you. It just means that there's just a difference of opinion. Secondarily, ask yourself, why are you placing so much value on what they're not doing? What is it that they have been doing that shows you that they love? And why are you putting so much significance on this one special day? When you get answers to these questions, then it's going to help you in having a conversation with your partner.
Speaking of conversations, what do you say to your partner if you notice that Valentine's Day isn't going how you'd like it to?
Start from a place of curiosity, but before you say anything at all, you want to make sure that you're calm, that you have your emotions in check. If not, your body language, your tone of voice are all going to be out of whack, and then you might start a little bit of a fire, and it might not be the one that you really want, right? Because it can cause an argument. So instead, just say, hey, just check in, say hi, just want to see what do you think about Valentine's Day so far? Are you happy? Are you not? Word it in your own way, but you want to be delicate about it. And again, come from that place of curiosity. And they might go, why are you asking this? Everything's fine. You can say, I'm just curious. Now, I want to make sure that I'm showing you love in a way that it feels love to you. So it's just touching base. And normally when you approach it that way, they're going to be like more relaxed and go, wow, okay. And they're going to want to have that conversation. And they're going to want to know how you're feeling. And if they don't, you can just politely tell them anyway. But the point is this, you want to create Valentine's Day that's significant to the two of you, not based on messages that you see anywhere else in commercials or compare what friends or family are doing. It needs to be significant to the two of you. That's what makes Valentine's Day magical.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have a conversation beforehand about expectations or what you want to do for Valentine's Day, and you can kind of talk it through. Blanca, thank you so much for that today. If you missed any of this, we're going to share Blanca's information on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
All the special days in your life, we want to share one with you. 2/22/2022. We need your help celebrating Tuesday. WFMY News 2 is partnering with Second Harvest Food Bank to raise two things: food and funds with a virtual fundraiser and an in-person drive-through. You'll be able to donate money online over 2 days or drop off food over 2 hours at the Friendly Center Harris Teeter. We also want to give back. We're giving away 22 gift cards and the amount of $220 in an online sweepstakes. Second Harvest Food Bank is also giving the first 40 people who donate a free gift. We can't wait to celebrate Tuesday with you. We'll be right back. This year's Super Bowl halftime show was one for the books with performances by Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and some surprise guests. So I asked you on Facebook, what were your thoughts on this year's lineup? Jeff Griffin says, for the show to feature 6 artists in 15 minutes, I thought it went well versus one artist having the time to themselves. Christopher Rodriguez says, loved it, but could have been better. No one touching Bruno Mars's show, though. Phil Lowe wrote, I'm more old school in Motown R&B, although I do like Mary J. Blige. Kendall Ford says the whole show was dope. And then Trisha Jean wrote, I loved it all.
I only had one complaint, and it was too short. I wanted,
Yes.
and like we talked in our morning meeting, as soon as you would get started on a song, you're like, oh, I love this, and they were off to something else
Then
so
we had
fast.
to shift dance moves and shift energy.
That's right.
I wanted to see more 50 Cent. I loved him coming, hanging
Hanging
upside down.
down.
I thought that was
How do you sing
awesome.
like that?
I don't know.
I just thought the whole thing was impressive, from the set design to their outfits. I mean, Mary J. Blige. I mean,
those
boots.
She was doll.
You know, that was like leopard print, which y'all know I'm obsessed with leopard, but it was like sparkly and everything, and it just brought me back to middle
I was
school.
so
loved
excited
it.
because 2 people I know were dancing. So one person that I grew up with, he's been a background dancer for so many people, but he was dancing, and then another girl that I went to college with, she was actually the one, so that car, like they had those cars that were lined up, she was one of the ones dancing on the car, the middle one, at the 50-yard line. So I was so excited to just see people who I've grown up with on the floor dancing, like what, you know?
Now that is awesome. You were like, hey, I know her.
Yes, and her name is Monique.
Oh, really?
So great. Now, I don't know her personally, but apparently it was all choreographed by a woman who's from Arkansas. So
Okay.
some pride in my home state there.
Arkansas ties there. It was just amazing to see hip hop get this type of platform, because I know they've been trying to bring that into the conversation. So to see all these different artists bring back a lot of memories. I was surprised. I thought they were going to bring some more old school people out there.
I did too.
So that was my only thing. I kind of, like you said, wish it was longer, and I wish we got to see some more of our favorites.
But
I
hey,
know, but it
I
was
still
cool.
loved every second of it.
I did too. I did too.
And
All right,
Mary
Monique,
J.
take it away.
looked good. She looked good.
Yeah.
They all
Oh,
looked
yeah.
great.
Yep.
Monique, we were actually saying that you probably could rock some of those boots.
Yeah,
during
you
the
could.
weather. That's what Chad said. I can see Monique wearing those.
I'm gonna send a picture to my boyfriend and say, hey, if you want to add another Valentine's Day gift, give me those boots.
Yes.
I'll wear it.
Love it so
All right,
much.
Okay, quick forecast. I know we got not much time, and then it's time for the 5 p.m. newscast. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Tonight, it's going to be cold. Tomorrow, it gets a little bit warmer. And then as we look to the week ahead, dew points increase. And that's because that cold front's approaching. So it's gonna get muggy and warm, just slightly though. That 7-day, here you have it once again before the 4 p.m. hour ends. And Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley arrives for the 5 p.m. newscast and gives you the full breakdown on what you can expect for your Thursday. The big story, high winds, rain, continuing with storms overnight Thursday, going into your Friday. But guess what? The weekend features no snow.
I'm going to work. I'm going to work on that story now. See you all.
Hi, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona. What time?
Probably close to 9, I think. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hey, I'm coming into the thing, ice cold milk and an Oreo.
Hello, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, it's time for my 2 cents, and today we are talking about the fact that Valentine's Day is the day after Super Bowl. Now, most people go to Super Bowl parties, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? You're tired the next day. People are calling it this year sweat versus sweet. The football versus Valentine's. Do you not celebrate either? Do you celebrate one or the other? Do you celebrate both? Well, think about this. First of all, I couldn't figure out a way to fit the 7-layer dip in a heart-shaped box, so that wasn't gonna work. The average person spends $80 on a Super Bowl party. The average person spends average of $200 on Valentine's Day. So if you celebrate both, you've got nearly $300 that you're gonna drop, right? Okay, the wallet might have a little ding to it, but you make it. But here's some advice. Remember this. It's estimated that about 16 million people call out sick on the Monday after the Super Bowl. Guys, my advice to you, whether you do one or the other or both, I would suggest you do Valentine's Day, I'm just telling you. But you're gonna drop a lot of cash either way, right? My advice to you is don't call out sick for Valentine's Day. Won't work. Won't go over well. Sweat versus sweet, you probably should choose sweet. But that's just my 2 cents, and that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Almost every Valentine's, I'm probably like everybody involved in that fire. I think about it. I feel sad for the people that lost their kids. Obviously, I always think about that, but also just the other people that were impacted.
The fire erupted at Campus Walk apartment.